Peace, family. What's good, everyone? I am I am glad that you are here. I am glad that everyone who has tuned in is here to share this space with us this evening. Welcome to KSheaO channeling sessions. It's not just a channel, but we channel high vibrations and good energy and beautiful frequencies here. So I appreciate you guys being a part of this session. For those that are new, I appreciate you for being here, for you taking the time out of your busy schedule to share this space with us on this fine evening. And you can please do me a favor by clicking that like, touching that subscribe, and touching that notification bell so you can see any content that is forthcoming. Also, along with that, I would like to say thank you to all those who has been here with me through this journey. It's truly appreciated, and I appreciate your dedication for even coming on to our platform and just, making it happen and sharing your energy with us. So, on tonight's session of Catalyst Conversations, we're going to be talking about the impact that music have on today's youth in conjunction with the prevalence of technology. And I have the pleasure of having my brother, Travis Beane, on here with me. And I would like to give you guys a backstory as to why he is definitely the subject matter expert within the realm of this discussion tonight. So, as you can see, he has the whole ambiance. He is in his band room right now. His children just left from having an awesome band practice under his guidance and mentorship. And it's kind of surreal for me to see him within this element because it's absolutely fitting. Because I'm going to let y'all know something. I remember it were times when I would come into the band room because I'm getting ready to practice or I'm going to go into the palace, and I see T Bean in the band room by himself, figuring out notes, you know what I'm saying, perfecting his range, just doing everything that he could to perfect his craft. It's almost as if he had this seamless relationship with the trumpet to where anything that he played or conveyed through that instrument would just come out so effortlessly. It would blend so beautifully. And then he would lead others. It's like his drive would lead others to want to be better. So he made sure that his section was on the same level as him, but he always took that step to achieve more so that he could be that example for everyone around him. No matter what instrument they played, no matter what they did, baby, it could have been the majorettes or the flag girls. If they seen the effort that he put into everything that he did, it made them want to do the same. It made them want to go harder. So I really appreciate seeing him in this dynamic and in this atmosphere doing what he does best because he applied the best of him in everything that he ever put himself or thrown himself into. And it's so refreshing just to see his evolution, to see his growth, and just to see how he just talking to his kids right now within this snippet of this session is really gratifying, and it makes me feel good just to see that. It's absolutely refreshing. And hold on, I'm not done. He has other business ventures that he tapped into. He used to play live in his own band. It's just so many things that he's done from a standpoint of musicianship that's worth a round of applause. So tonight I am giving my brother Travis Beane his flowers. Here are your flowers, brother. You deserve them.
I
Absolutely. They're
appreciate
long overdue, for sure.
it.
Absolutely. So I just want to get into and let everybody know, what are you about, bro? What you got going on? Tell people more about what you do, amplify those parts about you, and give them a brief synopsis about what you entail.
Well, I'm a husband. I'm a father. First and
Okay.
foremost, And then, I got a beautiful wife, 3 children who I
Beautiful.
love with all my heart. Um, right now, as my day gig, I guess, I am a high school teacher at Trotwood Medicine High School in Trotwood, Ohio. It's right outside of Dayton. This is my second year here, where I teach music theory, music technology, and then I serve as the band director for the concert and marching bands. So, kind of doing that now. I still play bass a lot with different bands around the Ohio area. Right now, I'm playing gigs with the Blue Water Kings, and I'm also kind of spot playing with Premium Blend. I serve as one of the musicians at my church, and also one of the ministers there. Um, just trying to, stay busy and stay out of trouble. It's the same thing we did, 20 years ago. As long as I'm busy, I ain't in nobody's trouble. So, uh, just kind of glad to be able to give back, to students. I see little me's and little you's in my band room now. So, just kind of trying to cultivate what's inside of them become something greater, later on in life.
And that's amazing. And the testament is just the whole dynamic that we can feel just coming through our phones, our laptops, our computers right now because you're sitting in your band room, So that's so cool, So just to slide right into the topic, I just want to know in comparison and contrast to when we were growing up in the band room to now what you're experiencing with the students that you are teaching and educating right now. How do you see the dynamic of the impact of the youth from then versus now?
I think the biggest impact with them is the fact that everything now is so readily available and accessible. Things that we had to like dig in books to find or, experience a conversation with an elder or whatever the case may be, like they have it at the tip of their fingers now, where they can grab a phone and Google how to play a 16th note triplet properly, as opposed to us having to wait or find an old tape or whatever the case may be. Just the fact that they have so much technology that they can use. I see some of the older educators say, "Well, put your phones away. Put your phones away." No, I'm like, okay, let me research. No, take your phones out. Take
Right.
your phones out. Put them on your stand. Put all right. Download Bandmate. Use that app. Not only will Bandmate tell you that what note you're playing, but they'll tell you how in tune it is, where we used to have to walk up to Miss Miller's tuner. You remember that big black box we
Yep.
used to have to
Hmm.
walk up to the box and play, and now they got it right in their phones. Oh,
Wow.
you having trouble with time? Oh, let's download a metronome. Okay, now they got a metronome right at their fingertips. So it's really making the process for them so much easier than what it was for us if they apply the technology in the right way. I think the biggest problem that we as a generation, like our ages and younger, we tend to abuse the technology rather than use it. So my goal is to teach the kids how to use it to like better themselves and uh, be able to use it as tools to hone their craft.
Hmm. And I can identify with that because I know, like you say, the elders would be like, put all that phone, put them technology, put all that stuff away. But now it's our way of life. So by you integrating it into your musicianship and allowing these kids to be able to have it, now it's not like they have to hide it. Now it's not like they feel like, okay, well, if I, pull this out, then he's going to get mad. It's like you welcome it, but you integrate learning tools out of that to make them want to put the two together so it can work in harmony for them, so it can help
Absolutely.
catapult them. Like you said, we had big old devices having us trying to get us on track, but now it's like the push of a button and they have it. So, with that being said, do you think now that they have so many things that's so prevalent to them right now, as far as technology, is it making better quality musicians? Or do you feel like since things are so readily available, it kind of set them back because they don't have to research for it, or you can't really see if they have a passion for it because it's so easily given to them, or you get what I'm trying to say?
Yes. And my response is that it really comes down to time management.
Okay.
And I know it's like, okay, no, but time management.
Hmm.
How are we using our time? You know, being in my band is kind of like a deprogramming session
Hmm.
because we're disconnecting from just the normal ways of consumer society, and we're becoming creatives. And not only does it happen in the band room, but it happens in the music production lab because
Hmm.
now it's not about the music you buy. What music are you making? You know, so it's kind of like a deprogramming session, and I feel like it's no easier than what it was when we were coming up. They're just receiving the information from a different place.
Interesting.
You know, it's to me, it's the process of getting there is easier, but they still got to do the work.
Mm,
Just because you can pull up some music on the app, don't mean that you can play it.
that's
So they're
true.
still doing the work.
That's real. Just because it's readily available don't make them a better musician. You know, you still have to
Absolutely,
apply you to music in order to make music what it is at the end of the day. You know, like
absolutely,
if you don't study your instrument, you don't study the music, you're not applying yourself diligently, then it's almost like it's null and void and it's non-existent. You have to be
absolutely,
a part of music in order music to be a part of everybody else's being, a part of anything else that you could even experience. It takes it takes an effort, and that's, I think that's the beautiful thing about it. So with that being said, the influence of various types of music on today's youth, is that giving a direct impact on the children in the band room? Like, are they able to relate, you know, as far as like what they hear on the radio, or what may be streaming, or the latest released album? How is it like, okay, because you know we used to play old school, you know what I'm saying, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and all that. So, are they able to relate to the old school genres of music with the new school genre of music that's out today? Can they relate to it? Do they want to play it? Are they interested in it? Like, what is that dynamic like?
it's give and take, and a band is going to be a reflection of their band director. They're going to be one. They're going to want to do whatever you put inside of them,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to bring their own ideas and things of that nature. And I'm just kind of staring back at our book, and we've got everything from TLC to Janet Jackson to Sheila E. to Trippie Redd to Migos, B.O.B. You know, we got things, the Masego, Beyonce, Danity Kane, Tatiana Ali. So it's, and I just threw those artists out there to see the wide spectrum
Yeah.
that you know going on in here as far as what they're playing, and a lot of this stuff is student choice
Mm-hmm.
because if the kids are excited about what they're playing, they're gonna play it better.
Absolutely.
You know, of course, I throw my stuff in there, and what I realize is my musical tastes are now affecting my students in a positive way. You know, I'm R&B church boy, so the type of stuff I like to listen to is kind of what you know is infecting my students, and they love a musical challenge. They're just like us. The
Nice.
more challenging the music is, the more they want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I showed them. I got this. You can't see it right now because my phone is sitting on it, but I have a VCR in my room,
Okay. Yes. Take them.
and King 2003,
Yes. Yes. That's so,
King 2004.
that's so dope.
So I do that so they can see, you know, what influenced us as students. Because you got to remember, Miss Miller gave us a lot of autonomy about that book when it came to what we wanted to play.
Absolutely. That's very.
And she allowed us to express ourselves. I have student arrangers, which is like
Oh
You
man.
know it does something for me because I've been a student arranger since 10th grade.
Yeah.
So now I have students saying, okay, well, I want to play this and I'm gonna write this for you, Mr. Bean, and it's gonna be fire. I'm like, "Yeah." you
Go.
know,
Yeah.
yes, and sure enough, I mean the voicing is there. They know I like a lot of harmony. They make sure they give me what I want musically in order to get played what they want to get played. The same way we used to do Miss Miller. I
Hmm.
used to make sure that my stuff was so musical so she couldn't say no.
Right.
And they do the same thing for me, and I love it. I mean, these kids, they're always asking something. How does this work? Can you recount that rhythm? Can you sing that part for me? Can I sing this part for you? So
Mhm.
I can learn, they're just sponges. They're soaking up all this knowledge. They're gonna be amazing. I mean, year two compared to year one, dude,
Mhm.
they have grown exponentially in no time. I'm so proud of these children.
That's wonderful. But they wouldn't have been able to exhibit such talents and creativity if it wasn't for your influence. You know what I mean? So you were saying that you love the fact that they can produce these sheets of music, like with all this harmony and things of this nature, and that's what you love. But I don't think it's just what you love, it's also complemented with what you know that they can do, so they can pull their best selves out of their creations, and they can prove
Mhm.
to themselves of what they are capable of doing. So I'm sure after they write it out, because at first it's just in black and white, you know,
Right.
but it goes to a whole nother dimension to where when they can hear their own peers play what they have written and they get their band director's approval, it's almost like, you know what I'm saying, you get that confirmation from your mom or dad when you done did something good and you feeling real good inside. It's the same type of feeling that they get, so they feel that reward in your approval and of their peers playing their music. So I think that's so cool. Now with that being said, that you see the ones that are real creative and things of that nature, right? How does it reflect in their grades? Do you see that the ones that are more creative, their grades are reflected in a more positive fashion, or do you see the complete opposite for those who are just there, like, hey, I'm just here taking band so I don't get in trouble type deal? You know, do you see that type of contrast or any similarities between the grades and the creative?
Sometimes,
Okay.
sometimes, this band is a whole melting pot. You
Hmm.
know, the band world is a whole melting pot, and I think that's what made band cool for us. Because although we came from similar situations, we all were different, and that's the same thing with my students. You know, I got some 4.0 students um, who are uh, great musicians, and they take their craft extra seriously. I got some other 4.0 students who um care enough about music just to be in the band. I got some 1.8 students who are amazing musicians. Then I got some 1.8 students that's just trying to stay out of trouble. It's it's all over the place now. Thankfully, I have 50 students in my band, and over 30 of them are on the honor roll.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
But we have our couple of cases where we give them extra care, and we try to make sure that they know that they're supported. Because the reality is, when you're dealing with a public school, you're going to deal with kids from all types of backgrounds who come to school just to get two hot meals, or who come to school just to hear somebody tell them that they love them. I tell my students, I love you. I tell them every day. As soon as rehearsal ends, love y'all, peace. And I mean it. They know it. We like so you have it's just you have so many different personalities, so many different socioeconomic backgrounds where you have to be able to cater to everybody and make everybody feel valued, make everybody feel supported, and make sure everyone feels loved. And
Right.
we try to make sure that we have a hierarchy of importance in our band room. They know that my hierarchy of importance is number one, their health and safety. Number two, their academic progress. Number three, their music. where,
Absolutely.
when we went to King, I think the academics, that was kind of like a given. We were going to be amazing in the classroom.
True.
Our health and safety, once you made it through the metal detectors, you felt pretty safe.
Yeah.
And then, the music, we were like, okay, we know it's a lot of stuff that we just took for granted. Being where we were in the time in which we were there, things have changed.
Hmm.
And to be an educator in this climate, you got to be able to roll with the punches of life and be
Absolutely.
able to teach your students how to do the same thing. So, I think we get more life lessons than music lessons in this room.
That is so dope. That is so cool. And I can hear it through the compassion in your voice. You know what I mean? Like, just like you say, you tell these kids that you love them, and a lot of children, they need that, and that's what helped them better in school, help them with their social development, help them with their cognitive skills, because just like you said, it's life skills. It's not just you being a musician in here, it's you just learning how to be the best you that's possible. And how you get to understand you is through the music. And then through that, you have like your guidance showing them in a loving way to let them know you are supported through this whole journey, no matter what. No matter how you feel, you're not trying to distinguish nobody to make them feel no less or to make them feel no more. It's like an equal playing field when you come in this band room. So all those adverse feelings that you may have felt throughout the day from any of the other kids or other students that's out there, you don't have to worry about that dynamic in here, because it's like that positive energy that you're radiating in your band room. They feed off of that, and that's what makes them want to excel in their own individualistic ways, and that is amazing. And with that being said, you have a fundraiser. Can you tell us about that fundraiser that you have?
Oh yes. Right now we're doing vertical raise to help us with all of our event endeavors and travel in upcoming months. So we're doing the vertical raise platform. We put the link out on all our social media and stuff like that. And students send out emails to their family members and friends. And we're simply just asking for donations. And it's really cool because we don't have any. It's not a gimmick fundraiser where we got popcorn or selling socks or anything like that. We're just literally, genuinely asking for donations from our supporters to help us put on the most amazing Battle of the Bands in April and to help us with our travel throughout this year and next school year.
Tell me about that battle of the bands that y'all have coming up in April. Where is it going to be and
So
everything?
it's going to be right here at Trotwood Madison High School at Bob Driver Stadium. It's going to be at 2 p.m. on April 29th. We haven't dropped the flyer yet, but
Okay.
the theme is spicy. I can tell you that the theme for the Battle of the Bands is real spicy, and I think everybody's gonna love it. They're gonna want to go get their clothes, and we're doing. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna tell you, we're doing a Mardi Gras themed
Nice.
Battle of the Bands.
That's
So you can go get your mask and your umbrellas and
dope.
your beads and whatever you want to get to really just be festive. It's gonna be a great festive event. We got bands coming from all over the Midwest. We got judges coming from all over, from HBCUs and different places. Last year we did the freshest battle of the bands where everything was a Fresh Prince theme. So
Okay.
we're doing Mardi Gras this time. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, and the bands are gonna be amazing. We're gonna have all types of vendors. We normally do a row of food trucks on the outskirts of the stadium, so people could get different things that they like to eat during the event.
Hmm.
Um, it's just, and then we might have some participation from different groups around the Dayton area as well. When it comes to other forms of entertainment, but it's going to be amazing. Last year we had 11 bands there,
Nice.
and I brought Detroit culture to Dayton because what I did was once we gave those trophies out,
Hmm.
and once we announced our winners and things of that nature, I let all the bands just wreak havoc on one another, and it was a wonderful time.
That took you back, right?
Yeah, just like our competitions at King, it was the same model, and I'm so thankful for the example that Miss Miller was setting. Because mind you, I never knew that I would be a band director. So to like watch how she coordinated those events and the fundraising and the hustle that she put in us, like, you know, just being able to take that same hustle she gave us. Although I'm not on the corner with M&Ms and water, I'm on social media every day sharing this link to this vertical raise or whatever we got going on. I'm sharing links. I mean, I sent popcorn links to everybody when we sold popcorn. Like just being able to take that hustle that she gave us and try to implant it in these kids. Mind you, it's consumer society for most young people. So
Correct.
it's a little different to try to give them a hustler mentality.
Hmm.
But I'm doing the best that I can as their leader and trying to lead by example and making sure that they follow it and we give them the best opportunities we can give them because frankly the more money we raise the more opportunities I can give students.
Correct. Absolutely. So, along with that, and the fundraiser and the Mardi Gras theme Battle of the Bands that you have coming up, do you have any events that you're putting on for yourself with your band that you would like to get out and let people know about?
Oh wow. Not at the moment.
Okay.
We had shut down for a while.
Okay.
I saw you had my drummer on the other night. But we shut down for a while. I stepped down as the leader, and Kim James took the lead.
Hmm.
And right now they're in the studio recording a full length album. So
Nice.
before we take any gigs, we're gonna finish this album. And the name of the band is Potluck. We used to go by HTS, but we're working on the Potluck album.
Hmm.
No telling when it's gonna come out because it's still in the process of being recorded. And one rule of thumb that we've learned from just being in the recording game for so long is never mention a release date without having a finished product.
Absolutely.
So we're in the process. I mean, the album's gonna be amazing though because we got so many meetings of the mind in that space, in that recording space, and then so many of us has been around each other for years. I mean, Kim's working on a record. I'm involved in the record. Devon is involved in the record. Terrell is involved in the record. So many of us that have been together for so long, ever since our high school days.
Hmm.
We kind of like we kind of just melt into each other musically because we know each other so well.
Hmm. But
So
y'all
I
been had that chemistry though, so it's like it's nothing to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
Mm.
those my brothers, man. And then one is my blood brother, but
Right.
those are those are my brothers, and blood couldn't make those other guys any closer to me, man. I love those guys.
That's amazing. That's what's up. I have a question for you. If it was three things that you could take away from when we were in the band room in them King hallways, what are three top things that you can take away from the previous band program that you were in that you implement within your program now and why?
Okay, first thing that I took from King and made sure that I implemented in my band room, and it's gonna sound crazy, but Gamma. I needed Gamma Sanu in my band room. The reason I needed the bros in my band room is because I knew that leadership was going to take place. And I can count on them. I'm looking at a clean band room. You know why? Because Gamma. I knew that they were going to lead musically because that's what we did when we were in high school. I knew that they were going to lead academically because that's what we did. Chapter president got a 4.0. I knew that they would lead and it would make my job easier, just like we did for the band directors in Detroit. So that's one of the first things I implemented was a conglomerate of young people that I could trust to help make the moving parts move correctly. So Gamma was one thing. The second thing uh, is just telling my kids to be musical. and showing them how to be musical. Because, just like we back in the day, there used to be so many bands just making noise.
Very true.
And Miss Miller would say the most in tune sound will penetrate any garbage.
She was infamous for that. She used to say that all
Yeah,
the time, and it was
yeah.
true.
And now my students believe it. And when they're watching videos, and sometimes they could be watching even college or all star groups and go, ugh,
Hmm.
ugh, because they know they have to recognize what a good sound is. Another thing that I implemented that I for sure got from King was reestablishing a concert ensemble. And I know that's like it's so important. Remember, we were in Wind Symphony. We got straight ones at MSBOA every year, or
Yeah,
we wasn't having a marching season.
that's very true.
So so I established a concert ensemble to not only increase their musicianship, but let them be exposed to a broader spectrum of music. Because if you ask 80% of my band, they're probably hip hop heads. Another 10% love K-pop. Another 10% love R&B. It's all over the place.
Hmm.
But how many times have you heard a young person say, "I want to hear some Gustav Holst, or some John Clifton Williams, or some John Philip Sousa," where they can really be exposed to more styles of music.
Oh, that's so dope. He said, "That's my band director. You better go ahead." I love that. So,
Dating kids talking about what up though, bringing up, bringing the culture to where I am.
absolutely, that's what's up. So, I would want to put this tidbit in for anybody who is a musician who want to work with others in a teamwork fashion. Not just saying they want to be a band director too, but if they want to work as a collective with the integration of music, let us know what is your greatest inspiration to do what you do right now. Like that's apart from just musicianship, like anything. What inspires you to continue to do what you do? What inspires you to always show up as your highest self in all your endeavors? What really like motivates you just to be your best self, that is a direct representation that influences your children, and not just your children in the band room, but also your children, your kids. So just let us know a little bit more about that to give other people some tidbits and some gems to help them move forward if they feeling stuck, but they're so creative, they're musical geniuses, but sometimes we just get stuck. Sometimes we don't even know how to move, but you're working in your craft. So let us know, what could we grasp in order to move forward as a collective with musical talents, and if they want to do a teamwork collaborative effort in the future, what could they implement to give them that driving force to move forward?
Um, One thing that stuck out to me when you were asking me this question, one word, family, family. And the reason why I said family because I thought about what first got me introduced to music and what made me interested in music. And you met him, Pops.
Absolutely.
Pops, my favorite singer in the whole entire world. My pops made me want to do music. Like just hearing him sing would just like leave you in somewhat of a trance, just hearing Pops do his thing, And then you said what drives me is family again because I thought about my kids, my children. You know, every day I get up and come to work, I'm thinking about what L'Oreal, Travis, and Alex can look can look forward to these kids. I'm sorry,
No, that's right.
they're all over the place.
The comments that's being dropped are from your direct influence and guidance and mentorship and leadership So I influenced that. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So and furthermore, my family that doesn't have anything to do with blood, anybody that I've gigged with, anybody that I've produced, anybody that I've engineered for, anybody that I was able to share a stage with, anybody like it all has this family aspect to it where we're making connections and something being birthed from the connections that we make. I have three biological children, but I got 50 other kids.
Yeah,
These are my kids.
absolutely.
I tell them don't call me pops, but in my head I'm like, y'all can call me pops.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. But I really cause I love them like they're my own.
Yeah.
And I think family, if you want to do anything in collaboration with anyone, if you take the family approach like you were doing it with or for your blood, you're gonna automatically give it the best you got.
Mhm. Absolutely. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the family aspect because a lot of people feel like they're alone. A lot of people feel like they out here, they moving solo. And I'm not saying that you're not supposed to have sacred journeys in life because you are supposed to. And that's how you can tap
Absolutely.
in with yourself a lot deeper to see what you're made of. But when you have that true, genuine family connection, it's something about those influences from an organic place from others that makes you know and feel like, hey, this is something that I know that I can do because I have quality support behind me. So I truly appreciate that family dynamic. Like my dad always say, no man is an island. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
You can't be out here just feel like you just can keep moving and navigating by yourself your whole life and think you're going to get far. Like, okay, true, granted, if you want to go faster, you go by yourself. But if you want to go anywhere stronger, then go with a team, especially a team of people that you know that you can relate to, that you have chemistry with,
Yeah,
and y'all into the same thing. So with that being said, that collaborative effort coming together for that common goal will come out a lot stronger because y'all built a foundation for that, because y'all were all on the same page. So I really
absolutely.
truly appreciate that family orientation that you put in the band room, especially for those who may be facing adversities that's outside of the band room. When they come in the
Absolutely.
band room, they feel welcome. It's almost like it. I know how I used to feel before I went into the band room. I'll be academically, I was good. You know what I'm saying? But it's almost like throughout the whole day while I was in class doing my academics, I couldn't wait to get in the band room at the end of the
Me
day.
too.
I couldn't wait to get there, because it was just something that I know that I loved, and I know that it was something in that band room that loved me, and we made a connection. And I just know that I had to be there. Like that had to be a part of my day in order for my day to go well. So it was that balance, and I can see that within your rhetoric and your articulation and your love and the compassion that you have for what you do, that you always integrate that balance, no matter if it's your academics, no matter if it's your music, no matter it's your inner creativity, you make sure that it's balanced. You're not sitting up here saying, well, you know what, music is a priority, so everything else go on the back burner. Absolutely not.
Right.
You allowing them to know like all of these components make you. And guess what? That's what allow you to be greatness. He said, tell her about the new symphonies we are starting next year. Tell me about these new
Oh yeah.
symphonies. I want to know.
So we used to go to MSBOA
Hmm.
and we used to have the Wind Symphony at King, remember?
Yep.
And now we're going to, once we develop our woodwinds and our auxiliary percussions, we're gonna enter OMEA as a wind symphony next year.
That is
Yeah. So
great.
I was kind of thinking about what you were just saying, and I was thinking about how much you played a part in creating that atmosphere in the band room. I've seen a lot of drum majors in my time of doing this. Mind you, I was a bandsman in high school, bandsman in college, assistant band director at River Rouge for 7 years, and now I'm here, right? And by far, you were the most personable drum major I've ever seen. You were so welcoming. You didn't play either. You didn't play. I was like, oh, I ain't gotta say nothing. Keita got us. but at the same time, it always came from a genuine place. The fact that you love the band, the fact that you love the people you were serving in that capacity, you know, it wasn't all about dancing and looking cool for you, even though you did that too. But, you know, it was really about being that leader and that loving leader. Like that made the difference. Cause some days I would come in there and just literally be all about the music. And if the music wasn't right, somebody peed in my cornflakes.
Yeah.
But
You
you know how I was. I'm still kind of like that now. I've developed a whole lot of patience over the years. But you know, if you didn't get it right the first or second time, I was done with you. And you were like, no, let's just take it again. Let's just do it again. We can get it. I'm like, no, they can't. You hear that? No, we can do it. We can, and we did. And it was because of your style of leadership, because you led with your heart.
I received that, and I am bursting with gratefulness and gratitude for you saying that about me. I can't lie, y'all molded me into being like a big sister. It wasn't even like uh you know what I'm saying, like this um authoritative leader, even though that came into play into, what I felt I should do, but I just felt like we were just such a family. We was just a
Yeah.
melting pot of creativity, and we gelled so well. And it's like no matter where we go, we was always at the hip of one another somewhere. It don't matter if
Yeah.
we were at Pizza Populous or a band performance, or it didn't matter what it was. And I
Or
really
our favorite
appreciate
spot, the butterfly.
let them know something, T Bean, because I think they sleep. They don't realize the historical factor that goes into this integration. But
Come on.
yes,
Come
it
on.
it was just that I had such a love for y'all that I felt like I had to show up being the best that I knew how to be at that time for you guys, through you guys, with you guys, more importantly, because we were doing this thing together. I felt like it's
Yes.
no way that I could have even, took on that role if one, y'all didn't nominate me for that role. Two, if y'all didn't support me in that role. And three, if we couldn't work together because we all had roles. So just because it was more of like a leadership aspect to being drum major, it wasn't just that. It was more of me knowing who are the subject matter experts and identifying them and pulling out their greatness in order for all to operate in our greatness in a fuller capacity to be our best selves in order for us to produce the best music. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. What
Yes,
I love the most about that is the fact that our roles never overlapped each other's roles.
absolutely.
You know, we knew that the band president, that Walter was going to be the one to do all the clerical stuff, make sure all our stuff was in order and know what was happening when.
And he was
We knew
legit
that
with it. He
Yeah,
was
we
legit.
knew that I was the music guy who
Yep.
was going to make sure we
The music
sounded
guy.
good and blah blah. We knew that you were the enforcer, and we knew that you were our fearless leader when we were in the public eye. Like everything just worked the way it was supposed to, and we all stayed in our lanes, and you know, we still was able to hop in the same vehicle at the end of the day and
Yes.
take it to where we needed to go.
Absolutely. After the end of the day, I'll be like, hey, can y'all take me to the house real quick?
Right,
and, and,
right.
it was such a beautiful camaraderie and dynamic, and I wouldn't change that for anything in the world. And with that being said, that has had a direct impact on how I even operate today, how I operated in college, how I operated in the military, how I operate now as being an entrepreneur. It really takes for me to absorb that in its entirety within my being and actually appreciate that with gratitude. It kind of humbles me, because it's not often that people get to tell stories like these, of saying, like, I was amongst greatness since I was young.
Yes.
I've been amongst greatness since I can remember. I've been taught by some of the best mentors that you can't even purchase for a master
Right.
class, You know what I mean? I can't go find these people in your Google search engine for $50 a month for them to tell me something through a screen. It's not like that. You see what I mean? Like, y'all
Absolutely.
had such a direct impact on my life, and I am truly, truly, truly grateful. That's why I said that I have to, disperse these flowers to all these individuals who has definitely made an impact on my life. And I know that it has been a nice space of time to where I was getting myself together and finding me. But when I took a step back, I had to realize, like, this me wouldn't be me without the influences that I have experienced from these dynamic people. And they weren't just dynamic then, they're more dynamic now. They're operating in their pure magnificence, and it's a
Wow.
testament to how we were brought up, how we were taught, who we were mentored by, what we saw, what we endeavored in, and what we created together as a collective. And I'm truly appreciative for you and what you're doing right now, and it just makes me feel full. I'm full right now. It's
I'm overwhelmed
it's amazing. It's
in a great
truly
way.
amazing. I can't hold you up. I have a sect of individuals that I appreciate greatly, but they are still stuck in the same mantra of mental imprisonment, because
Mhm.
that's what they were exposed to when they were younger. And they haven't been able to break themselves of that mantra since. And I felt like, man, I have to create something that could probably produce some glimmer of hope within them. I'm not judging you, baby, by far, because we
Right.
all have our hurdles, we all have our mountains to climb, and we all have our ebb and our flows. But
Mhm.
with that being said, I'm not going to just sit back and just allow you to struggle. Let me do something that's on a broader scale that hopefully you can tune into and at least grab a sentence or something out of. And I hope it can inspire, because I don't want you to be like that, because it could have easily been any of us to be in those adverse situations. But with the power of free will, we chose not to be there. So, what, at the end of the day, it's our decision for us to be successful, to be abundant, for us to be operating in our highest selves, right? So, if I can provide that shining example through myself, through a dynamic person such as you, then they'll be able to see from the masculine and the feminine that it's possible within our beings. In this Black History Month, on this day, on a Friday, it's possible. You can do this. Like I was stated previously, 2023 is still young. You still
Yes.
have a whole lot more to go. So if you can make that investment within yourself right now, December, what's today's date?
Today
What's
is the 10th. 10th.
December 10th? You can evolve into another you. You
For
can
real.
take that step right now. If you can take any gems that we're dropping right now of you and your inspiration and what keeps you moving, and that family dynamic that keeps you going, just you always operating in your highest self and all your endeavors. I hope that can be able to speak to those who either are operating in their highest self and they want to go higher, or for those who may feel like they are stuck. We are one another's reflection out here. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We we are one another's motivation and driving force out here. And another thing to go along with it, and I'm gonna keep saying it and I'm gonna keep reciting it. I appreciate you. You motivate me. You help me to want to aspire and achieve better. And I want to have more dialogue like that because I don't want people to feel like they should be afraid to speak the way they feel when they trying to give somebody else gratitude or, give somebody else their flowers because that's what we're meant to do. It's not a
Absolutely.
one-sided thing. It's not nothing to be shameful or embarrassed about. It can go like this, and I'm gonna provide an example, but it's a real life example. My brother, Travis Beane, you inspire me. My name is Keita, and I want people to know that I am inspired by him due to the simple fact he can bring a family dynamic in order to make him feel better. And I can attest to that because I feel like he is my family. I have been around him for years, and I can truly say he is a wonderful man that has amazing personality and is in possession of so much talent. And I'm truly grateful for you, for us to have ever crossed paths. You are a wonderful family man. And I want to give a shout out to your wife because she is absolutely beautiful. I want to give a shout out
So,
to your children because they're absolutely dynamic and precious. And I want to give a shout out to all the students that you govern and you educate because I know that they're exceptionally wonderful within their craft and their creativity and their education. And right now, I'm giving you your flowers because I appreciate you. And that's
I
real.
appreciate you.
That is just an example, you guys, of what could occur for you just giving somebody else their flowers or telling somebody else that you appreciate them because you don't know how, if somebody inspire you, how you can reciprocate that and inspire somebody else.
That's
We have
real.
to do this. This is how we build one
Yeah,
another up. It's too much, divisive technologies out here through social engineering that's breaking us apart. And I hope through this live that your students can see and they can, commend one another and say, you know what? Hey, that last sheet of music that we was just playing on, you did a good job, dog. Keep it up. All right. Hey, you know what? I appreciate you how you was a leader because when you wrote that sheet of music, hey, it's like I wanted to play it all day. You know what I mean? This dialogue has to start with the youth. This dialogue
yeah,
has to start with me and you. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
So I hope this can be embedded in a moment of history that your children can go back and watch at a later date and say, you know what, my father is making history. He done left a legacy for me. He's done so many things for me and sacrificed for me in so many ways, and I'm truly grateful for him. So I appreciate you, T Boone. I really do.
Sis, I appreciate you. Like you having this platform, just celebrating so much excellence from those that have influenced you and things of that nature. Like I just been watching when I watched bro Kim James the other night, I was just blown away because I'm like, bro really needed this moment to be celebrated. And I was just so excited for him because not everyone can see your journey. Not everyone can be privy to the path that you're taking. And, I've been privy to just see the growth in that particular brother, for, like up close and personal, because we spent so much time together over the years after high school and after college, even though we went to high school and college together. And
Hmm.
just to see, how you navigated through, high school, being in the college band and the military. And I can just imagine how many other people you positively touched, you know, through through Michigan and Alabama and Virginia, everywhere you've been, that light that was kind of cultivated in the halls of 3200 East Lafayette, all the way up into all the different places that our feet have treaded. Like, it's just, it's amazing to see how amazing you guys are and to be able to call you my sister, to call Kim James my brother. It's like, man, I have lived in amazing company. So, yeah, I'm just thankful for the time to kind of give a little spiel on what happens over here on 4440 North Union.
Absolutely. You better
And
plug it in. That's what I'm talking
yeah,
about for real.
yes, I'm just so they can see, and I stressed it in rehearsal. I'm like, y'all tune in because you guys need to see why I'm so crazy. You know, like why why is this guy this way about band? And I'm like, if you hear it from another voice, you will understand this is just how I was raised. This is just how we did it. And they're getting it though. And I'm so proud of them. Um Sending about 7 seniors off to all 7 seniors are going to HBCUs.
Nice.
We
Nice.
sent I think we sent 5 off last year. I got like how many I got one of my juniors with me, one of my babies. How many of y'all is it that's gonna be seniors next year? 11. So mind you, we only got 50 kids in the band. So
Wow.
just to see them, like, this is just a stop for them. It's
Yeah,
just a pit stop.
absolutely.
It's just a pit stop. So to be able to track their stories after they leave here, that's the kind of real testament of, okay, what was done here. You
Mm,
know, to see how they use it. This ain't nothing but a tool. What we doing here is nothing but a tool to get them to the next point of life. What I want them to do is basically create their song,
absolutely.
create their song, their story. I told the kids, I held up a trumpet. I'm sorry, I'm a visual type person.
Mm-hmm.
I held up a trumpet and I asked the kids, I said, in this most minute form, what is this? Metal. I said, what can it do on its own? Nothing. You make an inanimate object sing your song. And what they're doing right now is composing their song. So by the time they've lived their lives and been laid to rest, they have a whole beautiful symphony of movements, that can be played for those that they're leaving a legacy for. And, every time I wake up, I'm like, what is my song going to sound like when this is over with? What is my song going to sound like? Is it going to be pleasing in the ear of my children and their children and their children? You know, I want these kids to be able to create whatever that new wave is, and I hope that they be the wave that they want to see.
Absolutely. And just to touch on what you said, you and it's so influential and dynamic. You say you wake up and you ask yourself, what is your song going to be? And I want to let some people know if they're experiencing some inner distortion. You have to be able to learn and know you so you can get in harmony with yourself. So you can know yourself so that you move through your day in like a melodic fashion to where you're not bumping heads with, certain situations or certain thought processes or, even with other people. When you start to understand yourself and understand your inner music and what it sounds like, then you'll be able to produce it on the exterior to the masses to where those that you integrate with, that you converse with, even if you're just in the same energetic space with, y'all are producing melodies of pure harmony. It could be in the grocery store because sometimes you can be vexed in the grocery store, like, why is this person looking at me? But then you could also be in the grocery store and receive a smile and smile back. That's the
Hmm.
artist's reciprocation. That's mirroring.
Oh
So
yeah.
you will be able to understand your internal song, then you're going to be able to understand the world on a much larger scope, that this is what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Just take it as if it is all music. Do you want distortion or do you want harmony? And it
Yep.
starts within. So I truly appreciate that, that analogy that you fed me in order for me to be able to regurgitate that, because it's very true. Like, you wake up and you figure like, what am I singing today? Because it comes from your rhetoric, how you think, what you digest in your system. It's all contributing to your inner song. So what are you going to do to create a lot less friction and a lot more melodies? That's what it's
Yes.
about. I hope somebody can get that from a figurative standpoint of view and not so literal, so that it can mesh and blend a lot better. That's amazing. I truly appreciate this dialogue, bro. I truly do.
I
And
do as well.
have some more in the future, because it's definitely needed. Like, all your students out there, I know that you are extremely successful, extremely educated in your own ways, and absolutely dynamic. And I wish all of you the much best, the best in the world, because you guys are our future. You know what I mean? We couldn't be nothing without you guys. So y'all just continue to produce greatness and figure out what your inner song is, because you have so much inner genius that you can discover day in and day out and just make better. So I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate you too, bro.
I appreciate you, sis.
Absolutely. Well, I just want to tell everybody I appreciate y'all being here and contributing your positive, energetic forces to this session tonight. It has truly been an absolute pleasure. I would definitely leave all of my brother Travis Beane's social links and all of his links to all of his platforms right down in the description box, so you can get in touch with him. But right before we leave, can you please plug in that fundraiser one more time, because I need for you to get everything that you need for you and your students, for real.
So so it's verticalraise.com. You can look up TM4 Band or go to our socials that you're gonna post later, and
Okay.
you'll see links to the fundraiser on all of those platforms.
Perfect. All right. So, signing out, you guys. Y'all have a wonderful rest of y'all night and an absolutely abundant weekend. And you're going to catch me tomorrow. We're going to have Shannon Simpson on tomorrow,
Oh,
talking about astrology, astronomy, and astrophysics, and how it has a direct impact on us here on Earth. So just stay tuned. It's going to be even more gems being dropped all throughout the month, because I am on mission. I am absolutely on assignment, and this is something that I have to get out of me to get to you guys. I am just a catalyst. I am just a vessel, and it is my time to allow y'all to see what type of dynamic individuals that I know. I have the pleasure of knowing. So take care and peace.